What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the best romantic synastry aspects to share with somebody when it comes to synastry. And when it comes to these aspects, it really shows what brings about that feeling of truly being compatible with someone, what really sparks a sense of connection and brings out deep love or even chemistry in relationships between two people. Here are just a few aspects in astrology that can actually create that special spark between two people. Comes to synastry, this is the study of two people's birth charts and how the planets inside of two people's birth charts are interacting with each other. So when it comes to this topic of the romantic aspects in synastry between two people, so you're able to find that and assess the romantic synastry between two people. This has to do with the aspects between the two people and essentially the connections between the planets in both of their birth charts. This is important because this is going to show how two people are going to get along with each other, how they're going to get along spiritually, emotionally, and even physically and intellectually. Because when it comes to aspects, some aspects do naturally bring out the best in each other, but some other aspects can actually bring about what may lead to some drama or tension between two people. But in this video, we're going to be focusing on those aspects that bring out the best in people and what can bring out some of the best romantic synastry interactions between two people. And basically the synastry aspects that can actually make a connection feel more harmonious or make it feel more easy, feel more natural, and even feel more full of love. So without further ado, here are 5 different synastry aspects that are some of the best romantic synastry aspects to share with someone. And they can show a lot of compatibility as well as lead to true love when it comes to a relationship between two people, especially after a romantic relationship with each other. Because these are the aspects that can make you feel like you've met someone that truly gets you and like you found someone that you truly connect with, whether it is emotionally or mentally or spiritually or even on a soul level. For one, having your sun conjunct your partner's moon, this is one of those aspects that are generally associated with being a soulmate connection indicator between two people. Since the sun does represent our ego, our sense of self, and even our core identity, and the moon represents our emotions, and having both of these two planets in a conjunction, meaning that they're right on top of each other, with this conjunction between the sun and the moon, there tends to be this really deep, almost intuitive understanding between the sun person and the moon person. Like they just get each other on a fundamental level, and with that, there can also be this feeling of having a sense of emotional safety with each other, and it can also create this sense of a deep connection that they feel towards each other, which can be very comforting. Almost like there's a sense of having a mirror effect between the sun person and the moon person in a positive way, and can lead to a very harmonious connection between the two of them. And then of course if there is one aspect that's really known for bringing a lot of chemistry, a lot of fiery chemistry between two people, that is in having your Venus conjunct your partner's Mars. And that's what this aspect can bring to a relationship between two people. Since Venus is the planet of love and beauty and is all about relationships and harmony, and on the other hand, when it comes to Mars, this is a pretty driven energy, but it's also about desire and taking action. When Mars and Venus are aligning in a conjunction like this, it is creating this feeling of magnetic kind of pulling towards each other. And between the Venus person and the Mars person, just the attraction tends to be very strong and also very, very passionate and dynamic in the connection. With this aspect, physical chemistry tends to be very strong, but it can also be emotional attraction between the two of them. It tends to be this almost magnetic kind of attraction that they can feel towards each other. And with this aspect, it's actually a very exciting one when it comes to romantic synastry between two people. And it tends to be an indicator of having very strong chemistry between two people as well. Like between the Mars person and the Venus person, the bond is hard to ignore. It's also one that can be quite strong, passionate. But when it comes to Venus, it's also the planet of not just love and beauty, it's also about pleasure. So another planet conjuncting Venus that can also be a great indicator for some of the best romantic synastry to have in aspects between two people is when having Venus conjuncting Jupiter. Because with Jupiter, this brings in a sense of also expansiveness to the connection. And there's also a sense of good fortune and even abundance that's also brought into their connection. And there can be a lot of growth in a lot of very positive ways. So when it comes to having this aspect between two people, they can actually encourage each other to grow in a lot of ways. And they can also encourage each other to be able to grow in a lot of ways that allows for them to become the better version of themselves. And within a relationship with this aspect, there can be a sense of abundance and even sense of luck that they can feel with each other, because when it comes to the encouraging of each other to be able to grow, it's an expansive relationship. And when it comes to their relationship, the possibilities are endless. When it comes to what they can do together, what they can take on together, it feels like there's this sense of things getting bigger and also getting better when it comes to anything that they're trying to pursue together. And it is a very expansive kind of connection to share with someone. And it is one that's full of encouragement and support of each other, which has the potential to bring about a lot of joy and a lot of even good fortune for them. The next aspect that can be great for this is having the moon trining your partner's Venus. When it comes to trines, these do tend to be very harmonious kind of aspects to share between two people's planets. And when it comes to having a trine between the moon and Venus, this is also what can be a very wonderful aspect to have between two people in a relationship, because it's going to bring about a lot of emotional nurturing and harmony between two people, simply because of the way in which these two planets are interacting with each other with the trine. So when it comes to the moon, this is all about our emotions. This is our inner world, and it is governing our emotions. So on the other hand, when it comes to Venus, this is love, beauty, pleasure, as well as relationships. And with the Venus and moon meeting up in a 120-degree angle, making it a trine, between the moon person and the Venus person over here, there comes the sense of naturally being able to wanting to care for each other. So within their relationship, they're likely going to feel things like feeling emotionally understood and even appreciated or cherished. And when it comes to having this trine, it also feels like things flow naturally between the Venus person and the moon person. Because this aspect can bring out the more nurturing side of both of them, it can feel like things flow in a way that feels easy between the Venus person and the moon person. Because between the two of them, they have what can feel like a perfect balance between emotional security as well as love when it comes to the energy of the Venus person and the energy of the moon person here in an aspect like a harmonious trine. And they can be very gentle with each other, very tender with each other, and it's a very loving aspect that can make things feel very warm, comfortable in a relationship between two people. And another great aspect for romantic synastry between two people is when it comes to having a conjunction between Mercury and Venus, because it brings about this really deep communication between the two partners that can make people feel very connected on a deep level, with Mercury being the planet all about communication and mental connection between two people, and Venus being all about love and beauty as well as harmony. The conjunction between these two planets really makes it so that they can have a comfortable communication between each other, where things flow quite naturally and smoothly, but also very lovingly. And between the Venus person and the Mercury person with this aspect, they can even have that kind of a bond or a relationship where they are able to talk to each other for hours about anything and everything and connect a lot through being able to do so. Because of the way that they speak to each other, it can be very loving, and it can also make each other feel very understood. Because that communication is also communication filled with a lot of love and care. And especially if two people value good communication as well as a mental connection, this is a really great aspect to have with someone, because they can have a mental bond that's just as strong as an emotional bond between the two of them. And when it comes to these 5 aspects, they can actually be an indicator of what can lead to that feeling of instant attraction between two people. But it also goes deeper than that. They can also have a deep emotional bond with these aspects in their synastry, and they can show a lot of potential for a lot of happiness between the two of them, and even mutual growth within their relationship with each other. Well, that does it for this video on some synastry aspects that are great for romantic synastry between two people. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it helpful. And if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.